Instead of starting at the beginning, let's start at exactly where we're supposed to be, the right now. You'll notice that's going to be a theme, the coming home to yourself in the present, and what is often referred to as the outcome of a spiritual awakening.
Hi, I'm Chloe Caroline, and welcome to my storytelling series behind my first of 2 EPs called The Awakening. I really wanted to start with the most recently written songs because I really believe that we're always exactly where we're supposed to be. And I thought it would be really cool to share the songs that were really written when I started to see these really beautiful manifestations come into my life, when I started to let go and just release resistance.
We were born to coexist. I could do life without you, but I don't want to, I don't want to. I could be fine without you, but I want you, but I want you. Taking up space, playing the game. Maybe it's fate, but one and the same. Burning bright like twin flames.
A twin flame can be defined as one soul that's split between 2 bodies. In a world that glorifies toxic relationships, I wanted to celebrate healthy partnerships, that you can both be individuals but still come together and have this really beautiful union. I'd been alone intentionally for about a year, and I eventually got to this place where I was pretty good at being alone. I'd kind of found my self-love and self-worth and really was finding joy in my life just with myself. But at some point, at a really great point, I met my person and my twin flame, and he had a really similar journey that he had experienced, and it was the start of something really great. When I started recording this project, I was sitting there one day and I really missed him, and I remember kind of thinking to myself, man, was it almost easier when I was alone? And then kind of in that moment that I was thinking this, I got a text from him that was really motivating, and I went to the studio and I kind of sang better than ever, and I realized, of course, this is why this person is here. He's this beautiful bonus in my life. I want him as my partner. I want him there. And so this song really represents connection.
We're all connected.
I wrote and recorded Twin Flames in Laurel Canyon with my producer Brian West, and I also wrote it with Andrea Wass.
It is March 7th, 2022, and I am driving through Laurel Canyon today, and I wanted to document because it's kind of a cool day, and I'm pretty excited, and it's also pretty cool because Stevie Nicks worked in Laurel Canyon, so yeah. We're doing it.
It was kind of the first song that Brian had started out playing on guitar when we spent a couple months recording together, and it was yet the last song that we actually finished. And weirdly enough, when I was recording it, I had this moment where I realized that the melody that I had written back when I was 6 years old, when I first started writing songs. And I thought that was so funny because my significant other was sitting right there when I was recording that, and he's really the influence behind it.
Now to a special performance. Here is Saving Space by Chloé Caroline.
I wrote my song Saving Space during the period of time when I was really learning how to surrender to the unknown, trying to trust timing, that love would arrive in my life when it was supposed to, and I wouldn't have to force it. And it was at this point that I realized that in order to attract what was meant for me, I needed to let go of this energy that wasn't serving me anymore and stop kind of entertaining behaviors that weren't good for me and weren't aligned with the best version of myself.
We have Chloé Caroline joining us today, a girl that's really all about the universe, and you're going to see it in her song today because her first one is called Saving Space. Here she is.
I realized that I couldn't sit there and wait around for whoever I was supposed to end up with, but I could make room for it. I could save space for it. I didn't have to lose hope that it would show up one day. I didn't have to settle for less than I deserved.
I won't wait, but I'll leave room. I'm still saving space for you.
I started focusing on how would I love them if they existed, and started pouring that love into myself instead. Okay, I'm with all my friends.
Hunter?
And we're about to kill it on stage. Okay, anyways, on 3, say
Styles.
Geminis are crazy. Everybody, okay, get in here.
We'll warn
On
you.
3.
Geminis are crazy.
2, 3,
Geminis are
I bet you're a Gemini. If you're the life of the party, got a silver tongue on your hand, a wild side hidden in those wild eyes. I bet you're a Gemini. Oh, I bet you're a Gemini.
I wrote Gemini when I really started to get interested in personality types, who I was attracting, and I started looking around me at who other people were attracting to and started to find trends within even zodiac signs. I kind of found it funny that I was attracting Geminis. And Geminis kind of get a bad rap. They're definitely the life of the party, but they're also known for having 2 sides, being unpredictable, pretty hot and cold. But I also thought it was interesting that my sign, which is an Aquarius, is known to attract Geminis. It's supposed to be your perfect match. So I started writing a song originally that was fun and about that sort of personality type, but as I was writing it, I realized it was a song about also recognizing red flags, recognizing toxic traits, and learning how to break the cycles of that.
I'm naked, unsteady, but I like the unraveling. Awakened and I'm ready. I was afraid of the dark, but there I was looking at stars.
We often hear the phrases, there's a time and place for everything, and the best things come when we least expect them. And my song, Afraid of the Dark, is really a combination of both of those. It's part metaphor and part true story. To be scared of something is human nature. We're all afraid of not being safe, but there's also some really incredible things that can happen on the other side of that fear. I thought it was really cool to look at the dark because, first of all, you look up, there's the beautiful stars, the beautiful moon, and those things are there in the same place as this darkness. And I wanted it to be a metaphor for the hope that it can exist in both places, that you can have this incredible stuff that happen in your life when you meet that fear, when you meet that unknown.
I was afraid of the dark.
From a literal standpoint, I wanted to write a song that kind of showed how perfect alignment literally showed up in my life. It was August 10th, 2021.
I'm playing a show for the first time since COVID in Los Angeles. It's only a couple songs, but they're new songs, and we're very excited, guys. We're very excited.
It was a night where I was sitting there, upset, crying in the mirror, kind of confused about everything in my life, something that I thought was going to work out. I found out it wasn't going to, and I couldn't figure out why. And I kind of was like, I have 2 options here. I can sit here and question my faith about everything, or I can look at it like, okay, this is happening for a reason as well. And the universe, God has perfect timing, and I got to trust that, and I have a job to do. I need to get up on stage and sing out my heart for this audience. So I got up there and I did just that, and I woke up the next morning to a message from my now boyfriend, basically just being like, hey, saw you had a great show. And it was kind of like, after that, he was the first person that I went on a date with in over a year, and was the first person I was willing to give my heart to again after a year of being alone, and it's the best blessing that I could have asked for.
With
to write a song that felt like hope and encouraged people to look through a different lens. We live in a time where fear is everywhere, and it's almost like the world wants you to be scared of everything, and everything's dark, everything's negative, it's weak to smile, like it's uncool. I learned to appreciate the small things, trying to find positivity and light in dark situations.
Earlier, there's some positivity to your message, there's a shine to it.
Because you can, you have control over that. We don't have control over much in our lives, but we do have control over our perspectives. And I wanted a song that kind of represented that. There are two songs in my life that have been huge and monumental when I need that feel-good energy. It's Dancing in the Moonlight, really the top loader version, and You Get What You Give by New Radicals. And both have kind of been good omens in my journey as well. I remember there was a day when I really needed a sign that I was on the right path to keep following my heart, and I literally turned on the radio and You Get What You Give was playing, and I just knew it was for me. And I want this to be the song that people are dancing to at weddings with their grandma because it crosses genres and it's timeless. And so I hope that Underneath the Moon can kind of give you guys that feel-good vibe too, can turn your day around if you just need to listen to something to lift your spirits. And I hope it gives you hope that not everything is dark.
Tragic, 'cause I could dance around with you underneath the moon. Memories walk me right back to a daydream. So many stories that I used to make it through, all written down. Wonder what she'd think of who I am now.
Memories is a song about meeting my 12-year-old self and what that would be like. I had a teacher in 7th grade who really encouraged us to free write every day in class, and it didn't matter if it was grammatically incorrect, if there was incorrect spelling, whatever it be, just whatever came to our minds. And I chose to use that as an opportunity to share my innermost feelings, thoughts, etc. And at that time it was pretty difficult. I had just kind of gone through a near-death experience with an illness that took me out of school, isolated me for a while, and then I went to this new school where I had this teacher, and I turned to writing as this therapy for me. And I had always wondered what had happened to those letters, those journal entries, and my mom happened to call me and say that she had found them, and I raced home and I started reading them, and it was crazy because it was like meeting my 12-year-old self. And when I was reading them, I felt like I was seeing parts of who I am now kind of peeking through, but in parts where I was really brave as a little kid and fearless, but then also parts of me where it was really obvious I was still so young and so scared and still had so many doubts about things and questions. So I thought it would be so cool to write a song where it was basically like me meeting that person, me talking to my 12-year-old self again. And what would I say to her? What would she think of me now? And would she be proud?
So you described your ultimate goal for your music is for nobody to ever feel alone. Why is this such an important mission for you to focus on?
These are 6 songs that I hope really resonate with anybody who knows what it's like to go through heartbreak, anybody who's close to giving up on love, anybody who really has a dream that keeps them up at night. Yeah, I hope you enjoy them. My goal really is to encourage people to follow their heart. It sounds really simple, but it's true. You know, we forget that, especially in today, everything is dark and dark and almost, it's almost like media wants you to lose hope. And so my goal is to give people more faith, more hope, have them to trust a little bit more that they can have the life that they want, that they dream. Everything is possible.